Man finds a dead deer, and then something shocking happens. What started as a quiet walk in the woods took an unexpected turn when a man stumbled upon a lifeless deer lying in his path. But just as he processed the scene, something truly shocking unfolded before his eyes. 38-year-old Daniel Davis had volunteered for several years at the Hillside Animal Sanctuary Center, a nonprofit organization dedicated to rehabilitating large-hoofed animals. For many years, the sanctuary has been at the forefront of the fight for animal rights, specializing in rescuing and caring for horses, cows, deer, and other ungulates who have endured cruelty and neglect on farms and ranches. On the unforgettable morning of Saturday, April 22nd, Daniel was heading home after a grueling overnight shift at the rehabilitation center. After a few hours of restless sleep, he was awakened at 5 a.m. by the lively chorus of birds outside his window. The spring sun had just begun to rise, its gentle rays piercing through the soft morning haze and illuminating the world anew. After a quick breakfast, Daniel began his 40-minute drive back to Norwich City Center. The route took him along a narrow country road that meandered through lush green hills and scenic fields. Normally, he would savor the picturesque views, but that morning, exhaustion from his sleepless night weighed heavily on him. The man felt very sleepy despite the open windows in the car and the fresh breeze. Suddenly, ahead on the side of the road, Daniel noticed some kind of reddish spot. At first, he thought it was probably a tumbleweed or a large tree branch. But when the spot suddenly moved slightly, there was no doubt it was a living creature. Slowing down, Daniel saw the body of a large deer lying on the grass. The poor thing must have been hit by a car, he thought, and immediately stopped to help the animal. Daniel knew from his experience at the rehabilitation center that the first few minutes after a serious injury are crucial. Getting out of the car, he quickly walked towards the animal, which was now lying motionless. The deer was lying on its side, fortunately not on the roadway. Taking a closer look, Daniel noticed that the poor thing's chest was still heaving slightly. But when he reached out his hand to the noble head of the deer, his eyelids no longer moved. The deer was dead. Apparently, the accident happened quite recently. The body had not even had time to cool down, and the animal's large, beautiful eyes were still wide open. Examining the body more closely, Daniel suddenly discovered something strange. The dead deer had a distinctly huge, protruding belly. There was no doubt left that it was a pregnant female, and then Daniel suddenly felt a distinct movement in her womb. Good Lord, the fawn inside was still alive. Without wasting a second of precious time, Daniel rushed to his car. In the trunk, he always carried a full first aid kit and a set of surgical instruments in case of emergency situations with the animals in his care at the rehabilitation center. After all, he, like many other employees, completed a course in veterinary first aid. Grabbing everything he needed, Daniel rushed back to the body lying on the grass. The man's hands were shaking slightly with excitement, but Daniel quickly pulled himself together. He deftly extracted the little bundle of life from its mother's womb. The fawn was tiny, about the size of a grown man's palm, all wet and squeezed tightly into a ball. However, the cub showed weak signs of life. Its soft pink skin trembled barely noticeably. Daniel quickly clamped the umbilical cord and wrapped the cub in his sweater, trying his best to keep it warm. Half an hour after the incredible discovery on the side of the road, they were already at the rehabilitation center. The staff immediately rushed to their aid. While some employees connected heaters and life support equipment, others prepared nutritional formula for the newborn. The fawn was so tiny and fragile that everyone feared for its life. After all, the chances of survival for premature deer cubs are extremely low. However, this little animal turned out to be a real fighter. At first, he greedily sucked on the bottle, and after a couple of days, he was timidly twitching his legs, trying to stand on them. The entire staff at the rehabilitation center celebrated their little ward's unwavering will to live. Each of his appearances brought genuine smiles and tears of joy to their faces. Several weeks have passed since that fateful day, and the fawn has grown stronger and begun to thrive. He is now an energetic, playful, healthy, and spirited little deer, bringing endless joy to everyone around him. Whenever an employee passes by his enclosure, the little deer eagerly clacks his hooves and bounces around, drawing the attention of his caring audience. Even the gloomiest faces brighten with warm smiles at the sight of this delightful fawn. Everyone at the rehabilitation center takes great pride in their cherished little resident and remains deeply grateful to Daniel for giving him a second chance at life. If not for his quick actions and skilled hands, this story might have had a tragic ending. Today, every appearance of the fawn serves as a powerful reminder of life's resilience and the inherent value of every living being, no matter how small. The fawn continues to captivate hearts with its hearty appetite, playful nature, and boundless curiosity, standing as a beacon of hope for countless animals in need. What an incredible story! If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. See you in the next video.